This video is about interpreting anatomy on a real person versus studying from George Bridgman or some anatomy chart where the muscles are clearly delineated. It's also about muscle tie-ins, and this one happens to tie in the forearm to the upper arm. If you start here near the shoulder, the upper part of the bicep, where it connects to the front deltoid, you can follow it down and it'll be like a S shape. And usually with anatomy charts, everything's so clearly separated, it's very easy to study. But when you look at a real person, sometimes one muscle group's relaxed, one's flexed. There's different levels of development. There's different muscle shapes, different positions, etc. And it's confusing to analyze if everything's based on clear-cut separations based on drawings. So if you start at the upper part of the bicep, you follow it down over the brachialis, then it goes into the brachioradialis, and then to the extensor carpi radialis longus. It appears to be S-shaped and it appears to be all one muscle, but it's actually four combined together. This example of bodybuilder Paul Dillett is an exaggerated one, but it drives home the point how certain muscle groups can blend in with others. And you also have to keep in mind that some bodybuilders take synthol or inject themselves with synthol, which is an oil which makes the muscle swell up like a sponge takes to water. And it's artificial, but there's nothing like that associated that I'm aware of with Dillett. There are some bodybuilders that are associated with taking synthol, but Dillett isn't one of them. It is best to be very aware of the separate muscle groups by looking at anatomy charts for artists and see where the origins are and the insertions and what comprises muscle groups like the deltoids, which is the front head, the side, and the rear delts. And that knowledge helps you understand something like this, where it looks like the groups blend in with each other. If you just studied based on different people without a foundation of understanding the common basic anatomy, it would almost look like different people have different muscles as opposed to just having different muscle shapes and different muscle sizes. And another group is that Dillett has the tie-ins as well, as where the pectoral muscle meets the front delt. It kind of blends in to look almost like the same muscle as opposed to having this diagonal line that most people draw in. And it's there on Dillett, but both muscles are so exaggerated they flow into each other. And that's what's called good tie-ins. It creates more of an aesthetic look. I'd say the main thing that creates that on Dillett's arm, main thing that creates the S shape is the outer forearm with the brachioradialis and extensor carpi radialis longus. That parentheses on the outside of the arm is really what causes that flow. If you just had normal, or smaller size brachioradialis, that S would kind of stop. It would be there. There'd be kind of a break between the upper arm and the lower arm, but they just kind of flow together. So that's tie-ins as it relates to arms. I'll do future ones on different muscle groups.